So I don't really talk about this a lot inside the agency coach community, but at the time of this video, I'm about 4.5 years into my sober journey that I gave up drinking. I used to be the guy that was like the one that egged everybody on. That was a big part of my identity and a big part of who I was. And so to make a change of this magnitude was not easy in the first place, but it was also a long journey of like putting back together who I am. And I wanted to share one piece of advice. Maybe drinking isn't a problem for you, and maybe you have no intentions of stopping, and that's awesome, like all good. But I think the lesson that's inside of this is what really is something I think that anybody can benefit from. So I read a book that was about changing your relationship with alcohol. And one of the things the author shares is a story about her dad who stopped drinking. And she asked her dad one day and said, well, hey dad, like what happened? Like, why did you decide to stop? And he told her, he's like, I just decided to stop. Just decided it wasn't serving me anymore. And that was it. And she was kind of surprised because her own experience was much different than that, in that it involved some sort of like hitting rock bottom or this big challenge to overcome. And it was like, well, why can her dad just suddenly wake up one day and decide, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore? And so she calls it spontaneous sobriety. And that's something that really helped me in reading the book and making this change, that like, it was like a big aha, like I could just stop. Like I could just stop. Like I don't have to go through anything more challenging than I already had. I didn't have to, spend years at AA and all these different things that we're told that we have to do in order to make a change like that. And when I recognized that and saw the power of that idea in my personal life, that's also started to make sense a lot of the ways that I ran my business, that there's just things you can decide to change. Like, what you charge, you can just decide to charge more. Paying yourself. Like I see a lot of agencies, like they make money and they don't pay themselves. They might pay contractors and teams, but they don't take money for themselves. You could just decide to start paying. You could decide to start offering a new service. You could decide to stop offering a service. You could decide to stop working with a client. There's all these things that are currently challenges in a business, and you could just stop. You could just change it. You could just decide right now. And I know that's not like groundbreaking advice. Like I know that's not like you're like, okay, Mike, really? Like that's what you're here to share with me today? Just stop doing it. But yeah, I'm just saying, like sometimes it doesn't have to be a big drawn out conversation. It doesn't have to end in things blowing up. And so if you're finding yourself in a position where you want to make a change, maybe you're spending a lot of time investing in education and reading books and thinking through it, going to therapy, doing whatever it is that you're trying to make the change. Consider that you can just change it. And for me, it's worked inside of my desire to change my relationship with alcohol. Is also something that I realized looking back, that there was a bunch of things that I just decided to do differently. Like I was tired of getting 50% of the money up front and 50% on completion when clients took projects and dragged them out forever. Well, I just decided to change it and change the billing structure, and that benefited me. I decided to stop doing certain types of projects that I knew were just, dogs. They just did not make any money and I hated them. And so like, why did I have to keep doing them? So hopefully this is helpful to you. No matter what challenge you're facing right now, no matter what you want to change in your life, I just want to say that you can change it. And I'm on your team and I'm here to support you. You can make that decision. And I hope you do.